Yo, hello everyone, hello crypto traders and crypto bulls. How are you doing on this beautiful week? Today it is Tuesday and Bitcoin is still consolidating in this tight range right here. We are still trading above the weekly pivot. As you can see, we have not tested the weekly pivot for this week yet. As you can see, Bitcoin yesterday almost did test the weekly pivot. We did front run it for a couple of $100 basically. As you can see, the stock market is rejecting currently from the second weekly pivot resistance. The Nasdaq is above it right now, but right now it is testing it as support. The S&P 500 is getting rejected, as you can see. And what this means for Bitcoin right now, basically this consolidation right here that is happening, Bitcoin also did reject, as you can see, from the weekly R1. And since then we have been consolidating in this kind of a falling wedge pattern right here, as you can see below the POC. Basically this is where the price of Bitcoin has been traded the most volume have been traded at this range right here, basically 118k. So this is a very important level. And what is happening right now, in my opinion, since tomorrow we do have the most important news, in my opinion, for the month and for the next couple of months, for the Bitcoin and for the stock market price. Basically, we do have the rate cuts tomorrow. It is expected that we get a 0.25% basically of a cut. There is a 90% chance that we will be getting this cut. In my opinion, this is going to be exactly as the forecast, as you can see. So 4.25% would, in my opinion, first send Bitcoin to the upside. So we might see a play like this basically, or maybe even higher. So Bitcoin may even reject from the 120k zone, and then we might see some lower price action. Now why I am saying this is because this is potentially a sell the news, buy the rumor event. So basically once the news come, we will pump, in my opinion, and then if price fails and if price rejects here and fails to reclaim both of those key levels right here, then in my opinion we will be seeing a greater rejection that would potentially send Bitcoin, if we look on the daily time frame, for a potential retest of those lows or maybe even lower. But we cannot talk about this yet. This is going to be taking some time to play out, in my opinion. As I said, I am expecting a pump first, since Bitcoin right now is still looking pretty well. Ethereum did have more of a sell-off basically, but we are still very well above 4,200 and basically above this very important trend line, the 4-year resistance. As long as it manages to stay above this level, then I am expecting a potential pump towards new all-time highs. But what is happening right now is, as you can see, Ethereum is breaking structure. We are trading below the weekly pivot, and the Bitcoin dominance is actually still kind of pushing to the upside. As you can see, if we look at it on the daily time frame, you can see it is trading above the weekly pivot, and this is why it has been struggling. Solana also did take a 5 to 6% of a dump, yeah, 7.6%, but Solana is right now keeping above the weekly pivot, while Ethereum has had a dump also of around 7%, but we are trading below the weekly pivot, so this is something to keep in mind. The pump token, after a significantly big amount of bull candles, did get a 12% correction, which is basically nothing for a shitcoin, if I say so, basically, or a meme coin. Sui also bouncing right here from the value area low. As you can see, we have not lost this level. still looking good. XRP still remaining at the POC. We are still above $3, which is nice. But if Bitcoin, as I said, starts to drop hard after it rejects, in my opinion, then if it rejects, of course, but if this plays out like this, basically I would be expecting that we will potentially get a significant drop from the altcoins as well. Now the liquidation heat map for Bitcoin, you can see we still have a lot of liquidity, a big liquidity cluster sitting to the downside, waiting to be taken out. So sooner or later, in my opinion, it's going to be this or next week. By the end of the month, we are going to see Bitcoin clear a lot of liquidity to the downside, in my opinion, before we see a major push up, potentially for a blow off top above 124k, basically above the all-time high. And yes, guys, my last final target for the year still stands strongly at 150k. You can see basically right here. This is my final target for Bitcoin for the year. Now, as I said, we won't shoot straight up to there. We are potentially going to be seeing some kind of a sell-off before, and then we are going to be starting to push towards this target, basically. And this is my opinion, basically my final target for the end, for the potential end of this rally, since this rally, as you can see, has been continuing a lot of time. So in my opinion, this is what the potential top would be. Now also the Bitcoin ETF inflows, as you can see, they don't stop accumulating. We see a rise and more accumulation every single day for the Bitcoin ETF. So this says that the big players, the big whales, they are still buying and accumulating. So this is something to keep in mind for the long term. This is why I am saying if we are to get a correction right now, that would be to clear out the liquidity to the downside, so the big guys can basically position themselves while taking out the retail traders as liquidity, and then we are going to be seeing that very nice and juicy pump to the upside, which would, in my opinion, take us all the way up to the yearly R3, which is sitting exactly at $150,000. Now the long versus shorts ratio for today, as you can see, we do have more sellers in the market, but on hyperliquid, as of right now, people are flipping long. So this is also something to keep in mind of. And funding rates are still positive. They are a bit high, but they are still positive. So this is also okay. And as I said, tomorrow we do have the most important news. And be careful trading tomorrow, guys. Basically, we will get a lot of volatility in the markets. So be careful trading, always use proper risk management. And that will be it for today's update video. I hope you liked it. Subscribe for the channel, and I'll see you again in the next one. Bye.